here's your Rutherford weather forecast.
Good afternoon, everybody. It is about 3:30 here on Thursday, and take a look right down in that corner, right there. 81 degrees. Can you believe it? Made it up to 81, our first 80-degree day of the year. And as we take a look at the forecast here, we see we're going to stay pretty dry the rest of the day. Mix of sun and clouds, but 81 will fall down into the 60s during the overnight. And you see the thunderstorm icon there for Friday. That's really in the early morning hours what we are particularly looking at. So let's dive in. And first of all, take a look at the Storm Prediction Center's outlook here. Now, this says Thursday, March 14th, but it's valid until 6 a.m. on the 15th. Make that 7 a.m., okay? So I covered it up and I couldn't read it. So until 7 a.m., that means this is kind of an overnight event for us, kind of what we're looking at. So just to get our bearings straight, right here is Murfreesboro. You've got Smyrna and Laverne and Eagleville and all communities in between. Okay, so now we have our bearings and we see that we are in the area for a marginal risk. What does marginal risk mean? Well, I'm glad they put the numbers on here because there is a scale of 1 to 5 for severe weather, 1 being the first. 1 doesn't mean that there aren't any hazards. In fact, we'll take a look at that in a second. Marginal risk, slight risk, enhanced, and moderate and high. So the highest that we have today is in the enhanced risk, and that's out in the Arkansas area and some other states, but we're primarily focused right here on Middle Tennessee and specifically Rutherford County. And we see yesterday the county was kind of cut in half, and the marginal risk was really from here to the west and just general thunderstorms, which is this lighter green for our area, but that got pushed a little further. So did the slight risk out toward Paris and Jackson, the slight risk, which is a level 2 out of 5. So what are the threats? And let me turn off my little bug here so we can get that. The tornado threat on a scale of 1 to 5 is a 1. The threat is low, the National Weather Service is saying. Threat is low, but, it's not 0. So something we'll have to watch. And again, the areas favoring along and west of I-65, which we told you about yesterday, that's still pretty much the case, but that doesn't mean that we won't have any severe weather. The bigger threat for us and for this entire mid-state area, the winds. Maybe 65-mile-per-hour winds possible with the storm. Hail is not 0, but it is not very high. And flooding rains, I think the flooding threat is going to be pretty low on the low side. So let's take a look at timing. And this is also from the National Weather Service. And with that, we will take a look at our live radar here in just a moment. This is your estimated times. So it shows really for Rutherford County, and I'll help you pick that out. This is Rutherford County right here. So really the timing is between 12 a.m. and 3 a.m. We expect the storms to come through. And it's really the leading edge of the storms that could have the high winds and things of that nature that we are looking at. So thought we would take a look at our radar here real quick. And right now you can see things all around Rutherford County, very, very quiet. But doesn't take us long as we zoom out here and look out into very far northwestern portions of Arkansas. We can see lots of reports, and there have been some reports of some really gigantic hail out that way. There's a report of 2.75-inch hail. That is really large hail. Again, we're not expecting that to be as much of a threat here. There's also a storm. And see, this little storm right here caused a whole swath of, it looks like there was a tornado or a funnel cloud there as well with some damage, tornado likely. So that storm is continuing off to the east, but all of this is going to build. So that's our current radar. Let's take a look at what we expect here from our future radar. And we're going to pick up the 19Z because that is the latest here. And so what does our future radar look like? Let me load it up here for us and take a look. So this is 3 p.m., all quiet, 4, 5, 6. You see maybe some clouds and maybe some areas of rain and thunderstorms kind of percolating down toward southern Middle Tennessee, southwestern Middle Tennessee. That's at 7. Here's 8 o'clock. Here's 9 o'clock. And maybe some storms down in the Lawrenceburg area. Taking this on out a little bit further, let's go to 1 a.m. We can see that things are knocking on the door. Actually, I'll back it up just a little bit, and you can see how that line begins to fill in. And here's 1 a.m. So anywhere along this line that we see here, let me pick a good color here so we can see. Anywhere along this line, we could see damaging straight line winds, possibly a tornado. It can't be ruled out. But again, it's not our biggest threat. And hail, possibly, but not quite as likely as we go into the overnight hours. So let's talk more specifically about Rutherford County. We'll zoom on in here just a bit. And I'm going to back this up just a smidge here as well. So here's 12. Help us pick out Rutherford County here. So this is, I'm going to do a very bad job of drawing the lines here because it's kind of hard to see, and I know it's probably a little harder for you to see as well. But there's Rutherford County, and I'm going to keep it zoomed in just like this. Okay, so there's Rutherford County, and this is 12 a.m. Let's move this on to 1 a.m. Well, we see areas toward Fate Sanders and Sharp Springs and Smyrna High School, so the northwestern portion of the county getting in on some of the heavy stormage. And we said 12 to 3, right? Here's, I skipped 1 a.m., didn't we? Nope, that was 1 a.m. Here's 2 a.m. Now we see most of the entire county is kind of in the action. So anywhere in here, we could have some damaging straight line winds. Winds could reach 65 miles an hour. Even more to come here, see? So this is kind of a prelude because it's this line as it approaches. Now this is 3 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. So you see that's kind of our hot period, if you will, in terms of kind of being on guard. And anywhere along this line of storms, and see how it kind of, the computer depiction, it's kind of not a straight edge. It's kind of rough and bumpy and all that kind of thing. Well, anywhere in these small little kinks is where you can get your damaging wind reports, maybe even a spin-up tornado, something like that. So that's what we'll be watching for as the system pushes through. Now let's take us on out to the end of this run. That's 4 a.m., 5 a.m. So we're going to still be left behind with some rain, maybe some thunderstorm activity. But once this line comes through, the expectation is for the severe weather to kind of back off, and then we'll just be into a rainy period. 6 a.m., 7 a.m., so it's going to be a very rainy commute. There's 8 a.m., and that's as far out as this particular HRRR model goes. But it is looking more like an early morning to about midday event, and then things probably are going to quiet down here just a bit. But anywhere along this line of storms, we'll back it up here just a little bit and watch this kind of come through Tennessee. And you see things really kind of get together in Arkansas. And that's down here where we really expect the severe weather to be, in the enhanced area where we could see some problems later today and into the early evening. There's 10, 11, 12. That's 12 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 a.m. Okay. So it's that initial line that we expect to, if there are going to be any rumblings going on out there, that's where we're going to see the biggest of our severe weather potential. That does not mean that we will definitely have severe weather with this system. There's definitely a likelihood that we could see some severe weather with this. Definitely the possibility that we could get some damaging straight line winds. That is the main concern, but we need to be on guard for whatever Mother Nature throws our way, right? So we'll kind of watch this. Thought we'd pop on, give you an update. Through the evening is going to be fine. Dinner time, evening events. Actually got a baseball game to go to myself, so we'll be able to get all of that in, it looks like. And then it's during the overnight. So want to make sure that you have a way to be alerted. So if you have a NOAA weather radio, make sure it's plugged in, working, and batteries and such. Any of the weather apps on your phone, should have multiple ways to be alerted, because it is, again, going to be an overnight thing. So we'll be popping on if the case arises. If we're under any type of warning here in Rutherford County, we'll sure be able to come on and give you any updates that we know about. Okay. Be sure to check out our socials, RUCO Weather, RUCO Weather, on all the platforms that you probably know about. And whether it's Facebook or YouTube or X or Instagram, those types of places, Twitch, we have a Twitch channel, which soon will allow us to actually put anything we go live with on the website. So we're working on that. And also RutherfordWX.com. If you want to just go there, you can find out where all the socials are. Like, subscribe, share, tell your friends. And this is not a gigantic weather event. This is, again, a level 1 out of 5 that we expect here for Rutherford County. And that doesn't mean that, if you have damaging straight line winds at your house, it is a major event, right? So the levels really don't matter at that point to you. So I get that. Nothing to, be scared or apprehensive about. We'll get through it. This is springtime in Tennessee. So if you're new to Tennessee, well, springtime can get a little bumpy like this, but we get rewarded with days like we have today with 81 degrees. So first 80-degree day today again. Well, that's going to do it here for this update. Again, we'll pop on with any warnings during the early morning hours if need be. So be sure to keep Rutherford weather handy.